everyone, and welcome to another video where I want to talk about are you subconsciously selling your soul for this one thing as well. So for those who don't know me, my name is Isabel Hunt. I am a professional coach and transformation coach. Now I was even thinking about what I was doing. A certified transformation coach, public speaker, author of the book The Power of Faith-Driven Success, empath warrior, world visionary, and emotions clearing practitioner. So today I want to talk with you about something that has come up on Facebook actually quite a bit lately, where people were talking about to be positive and to create positive environments and to be around positive people. And something came to mind. I had this really amazing Facebook Live with David Dorham last week, and we talked about how our heart takes in everything. Like, everything that's happening around us has a specific vibration, and our heart takes it in first and then gives this information further, transfers them to your subconscious mind, then goes to your conscious mind, and that's usually what you're sending out. So yes, it is important to be aware of what we are taking on and what we surround ourselves with. The problem that I see with that kind of mindset, however, is that in our society we have created a positive and negative. And the way our emotion system works right now, it means that often people suppress some kind of emotions that are perceived as negative just to be part of something, of a group, really feeling like they belong. And so there's more and more suppressed emotions happening because, again, we are fostering happiness in our world and joy and fulfillment and all this really fun stuff that we forget, or that we don't want to, that we feel like we cannot show anything that would be considered negative. So as you have heard me say already, emotions are not negative or positive. People are not necessarily positive or negative. I actually encourage people to change their mindset around this to create more connection and to create more community with each other. So I rather say the people who are perceived as negative are often on a lower vibration. That means something is happening within their life that they have to go through that they may not be able to reflect on, or because of our social standards, they try to avoid it, but everything just comes up at some point. But again, they feel guilty for feeling what they feel, so they can't get it out. They don't have the space to really express what they feel in a safe way, not a reactive, but in a reflective way. And then there's the higher vibration, that is the higher energies, considering your emotions, people that vibrate higher. And there are different ways how you can increase your vibration, your body frequency, but we're not going to talk about that right now. I want to talk with you about something that we're so addicted to that we subconsciously sell our soul to it, and that's happiness. With everything we do, we feel that the end goal is happiness, something that we are going to be happy with. So that means if we want to be happy, we can surround ourselves with negative people. If we want to be happy, we can't really experience negative emotions, which cuts us off from really experiencing life, which also cuts us off from creating deep felt relationships instead of this superficial, oh yeah, I know you kind of person. Like, oh, you're fun to be around with. Who doesn't like to hear that? You're fun to be around with. You don't really say, you really suck to be around with. Everyone likes to hear that. You're fun to be around with. So we do whatever it takes to at least create a picture of happiness. And that hurts us emotionally. That also leads to an emotionally underdeveloped society. People who have worked through that and who are actually really successful in their life according to social standards, they know that happiness actually entails feeling all the emotions. it is not about avoiding certain people or avoiding certain well, yeah, that's not like, obviously, if someone is just constantly not really reflecting on what's going on and they just drag you down, like we know that energy vampires, I'm sure you've heard of this term before, then of course, if it is not in alignment and you know, okay, I can't really support this person, I have to distance myself, then that's a different scenario. So I'm just talking about the overall picture, so stick with me in my head. Can you read my mind? Come on, you need to read my mind now. But what I was saying is that with that mindset and being so addicted to happiness, we make our happiness dependent on circumstances and other people. So we become the victim of someone else's being. If you are a certain way, I like to hang out with you because I only hang out with happy people. I only hang out with positive people. Now, it's about to create a different relationship to emotions. For example, create a positive relationship to grief. Create a positive relationship to fear. Create a positive relationship to sadness, to anger, to frustration, to anxiety. Now, that sounds kind of odd and contrary, but it is true. Happiness is like you often, in many situations, it's hard to really influence our circumstance. There are people that don't think the same way. There are situations that happen, nature events happen that we can't influence. So all we can influence is how our relationship is to what we experience. So again, we are not responsible how other people feel. And our happiness does not depend on how other people are or feel, unless it's really damaging. Like if you have someone who is a consistent narcissist and just a really energy vampire who are not even wanting to take a reflective look at themselves and why certain things are going. But those are extreme cases, okay? So we're not necessarily talking about those extreme cases. But if we're just talking about the normal interaction with people on a daily basis, a lot of people go through stuff. Like if people are kind of whiny about things because suddenly fear comes up and they're supposed to step out of their comfort zone, most often they just rationalize it and appear happy when internally they're literally falling apart. And that is the problem in our society. It is not necessarily about avoiding those people, as I mentioned. It is about changing your relationship to how you experience things. I teach my clients how to protect yourself energetically, to not have your own bioelectromagnetic field, your body's frequency lowered, but being able to stay high, have a high vibration. So for me, it's even if I'm in a very in a rather negative environment to low vibrating environment, I am able to put myself internally into a place, almost like a meditative state, where I can still observe, where I can still respond, but it doesn't affect me fully. And again, it depends on if you have like those extreme cases in that group, like narcissists and constantly negative people who don't want to change anything, right? Nothing. There's some people that are like that. But if we just talk about a normal case where people just have like an off day or maybe an off week or an off month or even an off year, often we don't give that support that they need. We don't even ever ask what they need, really. And on the other side, it's them who try to fit in by pretending to be happy. So again, let's be aware of that when we talk about only surround yourself with positive people. It is the foundational thought, the basic thought behind that is true, because again, guard your heart. It even talks about that in the Bible. Be aware of what you put in your body, what you experience, and what situations you consciously put yourself in with people you surround yourself consciously with. You don't obviously want to pick a group that is always negative and gossipy. Like that's not working. So that's where this is coming from. Surround yourself with positive people. But we also need to be careful that we don't push people into a situation where they have to suppress their emotions so they can fit in. They can be part of your happy circle. Again, happiness, we all yearn for it. I want to be happy. I want to create this so I can be happy, right? But if we depend or make ourselves and the way we feel, if we make that depend on our circumstances and the people that are around us, we literally just try to survive the whole time. We're not very reflective of ourselves. So the power, the connection power in our community or in our society is to change the relationship to emotions, then becoming and avoiding people that might go through a rough time or appear rather negative. There's always something behind that, and I think we can help each other to become more aware of what the true message is behind what they're experiencing. And that's where my course is coming in, that's launching next month. I'm super excited about it because I am taking a more spiritual approach to emotions, which really is like a heart matter. And it helps us to change our relationships to what we feel so we can become more acceptive with ourselves as well as with other people automatically, because whatever is going on inside of you, you project out to the outside world. So that makes sense. Okay, so when we talk about, again, just to summarize a little bit, when you talk about surrounding yourself with positive people, when we talk about be aware of what you put in yourself, there is a level of awareness and a level to distinguish what kind of people certain people are. Again, narcissists and energy vampires, so people who don't even want to reflect. That is the category that we want to probably stay away, because they drain our energy, and when our energy is drained, even the strongest protection often won't do with those people, because they have very strong energy around them. But in a normal cycle where we work together, where we are like the friends that we have, that's just something to reflect on. Some people really go through a 1-year period where everything seems to be going downhill. And they tend to complain about that because they need to get it out. But it's for us, again, to reflect back and like, hey, how about we give you 15 minutes? You can totally vent and let it all out. There's no judgment whatsoever. Tell me what is going on. And then we're going to see what is really, like, what we can reflect on. What needs to change in your life, in how you respond to things to get you out of this hole. How many of you have tried that? I doubt there are very many people. We usually go home and say, oh my gosh, this person was so negative today. I wish they would just finally snap out of it. Right? I know I do sometimes. But because I do the work, I'm obviously more aware of what's going on. But, so yeah, that's just something. We are so addicted to happiness that we don't understand that happiness is about feeling all of the emotions, to being with everything that is happening, and creating and changing our relationship to what is happening and what is going on inside of us and going on within other people, then avoiding everyone who is somehow considered negative. Because again, maybe we should extinct the words positive and negative, but rather low and high vibrating would probably help us to change our relationships a little bit better. But I wanted to just get that out today. So I hope this got you some great value. If you're interested and you want to stay up to date on the launch of the course, it's called The Empowered Warrior, a simple guide to successfully navigating your emotional world. Sign up on my website and you get updates on where I'm at with the course when it officially launches. It is definitely going to be something that I want to make affordable for everyone, at least for most people. So it's not going to be a couple $100. It's not going to be, because I want people to have access to it and to be able to create that new relationship, because when you do it, other people will do it, and you're going to be the driving factor of creating a positive environment. So let's not make our happiness dependent on other people, but let's create a positive environment where people can feel comfortable to come with whatever shows up, and we can reflect to each other in a deeper way, in a very connecting way, and just allowing people to go through what they need to go through if they're willing to actually come out at the other end. If they reject, that's not gonna work. You can't change anyone who doesn't want to be changed. Okay, we don't change. They choose to accept change for themselves. Yes. All right, guys. Have a great day, and I will talk to you again soon. Bye.